Hey guys, how's it going? It's Chris here from Christopher Paul Wedding Photography and Videography, based right here just outside of Cardiff in South Wales. And I got another vlog episode for you today. So, a couple of things to kick off the episode with. So, life behind the lens. You've probably, if you follow me on Instagram and stuff, you've probably seen that I'm doing this triathlon kind of fitness challenge. I was at a funeral about a month or two ago, and it kind of got me thinking. I was feeling a bit out of shape, just a bit like I need to sort my life out a bit. And I decided to give myself the challenge of completing an Olympic distance triathlon with like 40 days notice. So unfortunately, the first event, the one that I was meant to do, which was in about 40 days from the time that I started, that was the Brighton event run by UK Triathlon, and that got cancelled. So luckily, I could transfer my race, and I am now doing my first triathlon in 2 days' time on Sunday. And I'm pretty excited about it. So the whole idea was I wanted to give myself a challenge, obviously, but then on top of that, I wanted to raise some money for an awesome mental health organisation called Heads Above the Waves. Heads Above the Waves are an amazing organisation. Like last year when I did my last year I was lucky enough to get a scholarship to study documentary photography at Falmouth University. Managed to complete that last year. It was a lot of work, very stressful. But yeah, I basically partnered up with Heads Above the Waves when I put my exhibition on, because a lot of my work, my sort of documentary and artwork, was looking at youth culture, mental health stuff and community and all that kind of stuff. But I partnered up with Heads Above the Waves to put on an exhibition, and it had music and it had the work up on the wall, and I was selling prints and trying to raise money for them. They are not for profit, so they do make money from certain bits and pieces. But yeah, basically, the more fundraisers, the more people that can help them out, the better, because they do amazing work with young people. I keep going inflection like this at the end. I'm doing my own head in. But yeah, Heads Above the Waves, they give young people, they give them coping mechanisms and tips and advice, and basically point them in the right direction to get help for things. And we've all suffered from mental health at some point, and if you haven't, you probably will at some point. But just remember, those young people, I call them young people. Kids sounds a bit too patronizing, because they're teenagers and young adults. But I mean, young people experiencing anxiety and depression, that kind of stuff, is really scary, especially when you've got no reference to it and you've never had anything like that happen to you before. I suffered a bit with anxiety and depression stuff when I was young, in my 20s and stuff like that. A lot of young men do. So I think it's really important to stand behind these organisations like Heads Above the Waves, and make sure that they carry on doing the amazing work they're doing. So the triathlon was to basically try and beast myself, just break myself with all this training, and then you get to watch me suffer and raise some money for this amazing organisation. So if you want to do that, I'll show you how to do it now. I'm just gonna how are we gonna do this? I'm gonna show you now. Somehow, I don't know how. Bear with. Right. Oh, right. Just bear with me. Let me get used to this new software stuff, OBS. Right, here we go. So, if you would like to help out, you can go to, if you go to neonpioneers.com, which is the art collective that I have started since finishing my documentary, click on events, and here there's some information and bits and pieces where you can find out. I need to update this really, but yeah, there's some bits on here about the training and all that kind of stuff. You can either click left on this button here, but think the easiest thing to do is to click on this button here, the link on the right, and boom, here we are. This is the fundraising page. Still a bit of money left to raise, so go over there. It doesn't cost much. The cost of a coffee, a couple of quid, goes a long way. You know, just think about it. Like if it was you, or if you had kids and you couldn't help them, but someone else could, but they need money to get there and give the information out and do the stuff. Is that money well spent? I think it is. So cost of a coffee, it doesn't take much. You can help do some awesome stuff. Yeah, so keep up to date. And if you want to follow me, if you want to see the training update and all the stuff that's going on with all that kind of stuff, if you go to my Instagram, but if you go onto my art and documentary stuff, just go on to Instagram and search for fuzz_chukas, or pretentious art right here. And then the link for it is there, and then also you got all the stories and stuff here, like what I've been doing, you know, pretty good. Like, and if I can do it, you can do it. I'm not like particularly fit and healthy and stuff, so yeah, you know, most of my clients, you know, are really similar to me, I think, and I think that's good. Nice segue. Yay! What am I talking about? So, right, yeah. So, how about that? If you got a couple of quid and you want to help an amazing mental health organization, go to the links I just showed you about. It'd mean a lot. I'm really pumped about Sunday. I'm really, you know, feeling quietly confident. I've done a lot of training. It's been really difficult, and but yeah, I'm really glad that I've done it, because I've never felt like mentally better. I feel great, and it's all because I've just put the effort in, put the shoes on, got on the bike, started swimming. Love it. So yeah, and we're also really lucky here in South Wales. If you do want to get into swimming and doing all that kind of stuff, Cardiff International Pool is amazing. It's really hard to find a 50-metre pool these days. Like, granted, there's a couple of times, there's only a few times that you can actually use the full 50-metre length, but just having access to something like that locally is amazing. Like, we really are lucky here in South Wales to have all these amazing facilities and stuff. So yeah, so that's like life behind the lens, and I want to say a massive shout out, big thank you to Bike Shop Wales in Penarth, who are an amazing independent bike shop based in Penarth. They know their stuff, they're friendly, and because they're independent, they're not going to push like I've noticed. If you go to sort of bigger branded shops, sometimes they're more about like numbers and selling a particular product and things like that. Like, I used to be a bike mechanic back in the day, and I know people would have reps come in and push stuff, but what I'm trying to say is Bike Shop Wales in Penarth are amazing. They've got amazing service, they're friendly, and they know their stuff. And also they won Independent Bike Shop of the Year this year, or maybe for a few years running. They've definitely won it at least once, and that's a big deal. So they are running a little promotion. So if you're listening to the podcast and you need your bike sorted out, if you just mention that you listen to the podcast Behind the Lens with love_CBW, or Behind the Lens, or just explain it's me, they'll give you 20% off on services. So like full service, basic service, brake service, all that kind of stuff. It's better to be safe. If you've got a bike and you're not a mechanic and you're not trained, and you want to make sure that it's safe and fit, even if it's for the kids and all that kind of stuff. Doesn't cost much, and if you just pop in, mention the podcast, you can get 20% off as well. 20% off services. That doesn't include parts, but that's the case everywhere you go. When you have a service, you have to pay for parts generally. So yeah, what else is going on? So like that's what's been going on. Here's the Heads Above the Waves website if you want to check out what they do. It's hatw.co.uk. And yeah, they've got a shop in town just over the road from Club E for Bath. It's a little indoor space, little independent shops and stalls and stuff over there. It's really cool. That was where the exhibition was. So yeah, good eggs doing good things. So I've just finished shooting some amazing weddings over the last couple of weeks. Some new ones, some not new venues, but venues that are new to me, venues that I've shot for the first time. Lanark Vineyard was one that was amazing. I can't believe that last week was the first time that I shot it, because I've shot, you know, probably hundreds, or maybe 100, I don't know. Like, I try and do, I've shot a lot of weddings anyway, and it was the first time that I shot Lanark Vineyard, and I loved it. It was amazing. Like, everything was cool about it. Like, they have amazing places to go off for kind of like those slower portraits, beautiful scenery everywhere, and even the rooms were awesome, because they were like big and light, and you can really get the most out of it. So that was that. I will be speaking to a load of my clients lately who have booked me for next year, and next year. So I'll be booking in all those engagement shoots. Let me just segue into this. I might not do live videos. It's quite a lot of work. So engagement shoots are cool. I offer them to all my clients. They're free. They're £200 if booked on their own. But if you book me for wedding photography, then I include them for free. And they're a great way to hang out and just catch up, get a bit of FaceTime, and just work with the camera. And it basically puts people at ease, because, you know, a lot of people the thought of having your photo taken is like, oh, I don't like it. So an engagement shoot is a good way just to catch up, get a bit of FaceTime, you know, bring the camera out, take some pictures, and then you feel at ease. You're like, it's just Chris with the camera. It's not a big deal. So I just could blast through some of these. It's always really nice to go to like really picturesque, you know, scenic places. I think this was down in the Gower. Can't remember the name of the beach though. But I love getting down West Wales, so any excuse I can. Like, sometimes I'll just like see if the waves are working surf wise, maybe plan a little surf trip and then fit in some engagement shoots around it as well. But yeah, no, I love them, and it's a good way to put you at ease as well. Let me just flick through some of these. These guys were awesome. Yeah, this was shot in Barry. I'll just go through a couple of these. Like, yeah, these were shot in Barry, and we're really, really spoiled for choice here in South Wales with like amazing locations to go and hang out at. But yeah, in Barry we got Porthcurry, and we got the Nap. Yeah, and it's cool. I like doing these shoots in the beaches and stuff down here in Barry, because it's got like sentimental value to me as well. I just like being there, because I grew up in Barry, and like I went for massive walks with my granddad along all the coastal path and stuff, so it's just nice getting to hang out and do that stuff again. Something came up the other day I wanted to talk about, and it was about like photoshopping, and I basically, I don't know what other photographers do, but my stance on kind of like proper like hard airbrushing and photoshopping is that like I don't do it, and that's because I just feel like, for me, I feel that social media is getting a bit nuts these days, and you know, I think it affects women more than it does men. But when you see these impossible standards of beauty, you know, with these like really hard, like, you know, over the top Photoshop and airbrushing and stuff like that, then it could probably make people, you know, women looking at it. I'm saying women, it's across the board, like it affects men and stuff too, but I mean, it makes people looking at it feel inadequate or not perfect or not good, and I think it's really gross, and I think it's a problem, and I don't want to be part of that problem. So, you know, I'll like edit my pictures and I'll make them look the way that I want them to look, but I won't go in and like airbrush wrinkles out and bits and pieces and stuff. I mean, if people want that, that's fine. I'm obviously not your guy, but like I just, it's like an ethical thing for me, and I feel like we should as photographers, we should be encouraging people to to embrace who they are and not worry about it and stuff, and like try and get rid of these like impossible standards of beauty. Like when you see fashion, a lot of fashion stuff and a lot of fashion mainly, and even and stuff in magazines and stuff like that, a lot of the time it's been airbrushed, and you might compare yourself to that and feel like shit, and you just think, just don't worry about it, just get rid of it, get rid of all that nonsense, that noise, and just focus on being you, being real. I gotta stop saying so I'm actually, that leads me in to, it's autumn, and autumn is like a quieter time of year. I'm still pretty busy, but it's a quieter time of year, which means I'll be doing some more family portraits. So if you're interested in newborn, family, or pet photography, then head over to my portrait stuff, which is chrispaulportraits.com. And I got all the information and stuff about packages there. I will be running a handful of mini sessions at the end of the month too, and I like to look after all my clients. So if you've had a wedding, come on, speak properly, can't get it up. If I shot your wedding, or you've met me through a wedding, then let me know, and I'm sure I can work out something nice to sweeten up a package for you. But if you're listening to this and you're interested in family portraits, newborn photography, or pet photography, then head over to Chris Paul Portraits, and then if you click on packages, you can scroll down and you can click come say hi, and then in the contact form there, fill it all in, let me know what you're interested in, and then in the little message at the bottom, if you just mention that you listen to the podcast, either on Facebook or YouTube or wherever you're listening to the podcast, just mention it, and I will throw in 2 free A3 prints. So yeah, why am I leaving the page on like the most boring thing of a photography website, which is just text? So yeah, I mean, I love when the summer rolls out and like that crisp air comes in and it's like autumn and the leaves start changing colour. I know we're not quite there yet, it's only September, but I do get excited for autumn. It's like one of my favourite seasons, especially for like engagement shoots, and especially for family and newborn. Well, not so much newborn, because you don't really take pictures of newborns in the woods, but family portraits for sure, like going out, playing with all the leaves and getting into it and all that kind of stuff. Moving on, what else am I going to ask you guys to look at? So yes, I have updated my website. It took me a while, but if you are just scrolling through social media aimlessly and you want to kind of do something, then why not head over and then you can let me know what you think in the comments below or via a message or whatever like that. Really appreciate the feedback. Obviously, it's really important for me to reach my ideal clients, because I'm not for everyone. I don't want to take every single wedding. I want to work with people who like what I'm all about, like my work, and like the way that I work. So the way that I've kind of figured this out is if you go on the homepage, I've put like a mini guide, a really quick guide. It probably takes a minute or 2 minutes to read. If anyone wants to have a little look and let me know what you think, because basically when you're planning a wedding, I got married myself. When you're planning a wedding, it can become super, like, it can just explode, and you can just get millions of phone numbers for a million vendors for the same thing. And I just think maybe if I made a little mini guide on how you could choose your wedding photographer. You don't have to listen to it, but I shoot a lot of weddings. I know a lot of wedding photographers. I used to work alongside wedding photographers as a wedding videographer before I started doing packages together. So I basically broke it down into 3 things, and that is the work. That's the easy bit. You basically look around, check the work out. Do you like it? Yes. Next. Next. And then the next bit, the person. So obviously you're not going to invite someone that you don't click with, or you could, but I just think it'd be weird. You wouldn't invite people you don't like to your wedding. So again, right here in South Wales, you are spoiled for choice, because everyone and their grandparents is a wedding photographer, which means you got options. So, you know, shop around, and maybe, in my opinion, you should probably pick someone that is similar to you, has the same sort of outlook to you, has the same sort of personality, and then you click well. Obviously I gotta get Coco on the website too. And then number 3 is like the investment. Everyone always kind of rolls their eyes when you hear investment, but like I genuinely believe that like it is an investment, because like when you're old and wrinkly and you've got pictures of you on your wedding day on the wall, and you're coached up looking at them and you're thinking, no, that was an awesome day, you can't redo it. So it is an investment, and you know, wedding photography can cost, the various prices for wedding photography is absolutely nuts. Like I've seen people advertise wedding photography for like 300 quid, and I can tell you right now that person is not a professional photographer making a living from photography from that, because it's just, you know, cameras, insurance, things like that. Photography costs a lot because it costs a lot to do. So that's my advice anyway. Like if you're not fussed, and obviously you don't care, you're not going to spend too much, but what you're paying for is something that you can't get again. And I don't really like to go on about it because it sounds a bit, you know, but it's true. Like you know, once your wedding's gone, it's gone. Those pictures and video you'll have that forever. So, you know, it's a good investment. A couple of shout outs here now for other people. So yeah, I rambled on a little bit then, but yeah, if you want to go and check out the website for me and let me know what you think, all my lovely clients that have put me before, and potentially new ones, yeah, just head over and let me know what you think. Be much appreciated. Yeah, so a couple of shout outs now. Big shout out to Coach the Bride. I follow I follow a handful of people for like wedding stuff, but not loads. Coach the Bride, run by Maria Ferrelli, I always say that wrong, is a wicked place, especially here in South Wales. So like Maria and the girls will like pick some cool topics, and I think they got some blog posts coming. I think they used to, but the feed's always got loads of cool stuff. So if you're looking for ideas and inspiration for your wedding, just scroll through. Luster Moon, they're really cool. Yeah, scroll through, give them a follow. And obviously they put on Kutch Fest as well, which we're always really excited to be a part of. But yeah, so go and give them guys a follow, Kutch the Bride. And yes, and just a couple more shout outs now for people who've really helped, especially with this triathlon stuff. So like, big shout out to UK Triathlon. Obviously that first race got cancelled in Brighton, and I lost like a lot of money, like in transport, accommodation, and everything like that. And they were like pretty cool, and they sort of let me transfer that race to another race, which is Ellesmere on Sunday. So come and follow me on Instagram for that if you want to see how that's going on. So big shout out to UK Triathlon for helping with all that kind of stuff. Another big shout out, I haven't got a website for them because I don't think it's for the Cardiff store, but a big shout out to Run and Become Cardiff. I went to Run and Become Cardiff before I started doing all my training for the triathlon stuff, and I said I'm doing a triathlon in 40 days, and then they went, what are you on about, you madman, you shouldn't do that. And I was like, wow, okay. And then they said, well, let's look at your shoes. They looked at my shoes, they were like, right, for starters, your shoes are the wrong size and they're the wrong width. So they kind of measured me out, tried me with a couple of pairs of shoes, and got me sorted with a really good pair. So massive thanks to them, because they really helped me out. And if anyone's thinking about getting anything like running fitnessy stuff, like running, go to Run and Become in Cardiff. They're an independent shop. It's always cool to support local businesses, and they're friendly, approachable, and they know what they're talking about. So go and give them a like and pop in the shop if you're after stuff like that. Again, I've said it before, but obviously Heads Above Waves doing amazing work, so makes a huge difference. If you want to head over to that Neon Pioneers page, then neonpioneers.com/events, and then there's some links there where you can donate. It really makes a big difference. Literally the cost of a coffee, nothing major, but it helps those young people who are having a really terrible time suffering with mental health. It helps them find a way out of it. So honestly, they're good eggs. I really believe in these people, which is why I've just decided to sort of push myself and do this like fitness challenge stuff. And I think that's about it really. So yeah, give these guys a follow. Watch me sort of suffer on Sunday when I drag my body around an Olympic distance triathlon. If you want to let me know about the new website and what you think, that would also be much appreciated. And don't forget that yeah, you can get that offer on family, newborn and pet photography if you head over to chrispaulportraits.com and just mention that you listen to me in the podcast, and I will sort out an extra special package for you guys. So if you're getting married in 2020 and you've still yet to book your wedding photographer or videographer, why not head over to my website? On the homepage, I've got a big helpful guide of 3 things to help you choose your wedding photographer. Have a skim through. If it turns out that's me, awesome. If not, then there's tons and tons of other talented wedding photographers and videographers out there. I'm sure you'll find the perfect one for you. Thanks for stopping by, guys. Again, if you want any more wedding blogs, tips, ideas and inspiration for planning your wedding, then like the channel, hit that subscribe button and follow me on Instagram, and there'll be plenty more of these